Rated PG.
I'm Sophia Murphy, 19 News, helping you better understand what's happening here at Michigan State Capitol, only on WZMQ 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lily Simmons. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the local economic club met this evening with Marquette City Manager as the keynote speaker. We'll take you there. And Marquette Mountain has welcomed its first skiers of the season. We'll tell you when the mountain will officially be open for regular winter fun. Plus, how tariffs are impacting the average American's holiday season. We've got details on where you might see price jumps and where you may not. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. A first look at your forecast as we're ready to continue on with the week. Some improvements on a lot of fronts and as good as we can get at some point in the mid-December range here. So for tomorrow, high temperatures out towards Houghton and Ontonagon and Eagle Harbor will be into the lower 40s. That's going to feel really nice, especially with the sunshine in your favor. But closer to the Marquette area and Munising, there could be a little bit of some freezing rain. So for today, we were below average, 16 for the high when the average is 27, and we'll get closer and even above that for the average for tomorrow. Maybe a bit breezy, but I'll break down everything else you need to know in just a few minutes.
Earlier tonight, the Mackinac Bridge temporarily closed down to traffic. The Michigan Department of Transportation announced the closure around 8:45 this evening. These photos were captured by the Bridge Authority just after 10 p.m., shortly after the Bridge Authority announced that the bridge had been reopened. WZMQ 19 is expecting an update on the closure tomorrow, and we will provide those details when we learn more. A Grand Marais man has been arraigned on multiple charges, including surveilling people in their homes and in public restrooms. Maxwell Brian Lindquist was arrested for 1 count of child sexually abusive activity, 24 counts of surveilling unclothed individuals, and 25 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. Law enforcement seized numerous electronic devices during an investigation. They found videos and images of local residents taken through the windows of their homes, along with recordings of individuals using public restrooms. The primary count against Lundquist carries a maximum penalty of 25 years. He is charged as a habitual offender, increasing his maximum penalty to life in state prison. Lundquist is currently being held in the Alger County Jail on a $250,000 bond, and he's scheduled for a probable cause conference on the 29th. New tonight out of Iron Mountain, 2 people are in critical condition after a fire yesterday morning. The Iron Mountain Fire Department was dispatched to a structure fire with entrapment on 4th Street just after 7:30. Firefighters got to the scene in under 4 minutes to find heavy smoke and fire coming from the front and sides of the building. Crews found an unresponsive victim inside the structure and began resuscitation efforts. 2 additional occupants were able to exit the building before the department arrived. All 3 were transported to Marshfield Dickinson Hospital for treatment. 2 of those patients were then transferred to another facility where they remain stable but in critical condition. Authorities say the cause of the fire is still under investigation. The Economic Club of Marquette County held a dinner tonight focusing on growth in the city of Marquette. The meeting began with a presentation on the Marquette Area Public Schools' upcoming bond proposal from Superintendent Zach Sedgwick. The dinner's main speaker was Marquette City Manager Karen Kovacs, who provided updates on housing, roads, and infrastructure, and the city's future. The Economic Club, made up of local organizations and educational leaders, meets once a month. Kovacs says the dinners are a meaningful way to generate stronger partnerships and community awareness, all over a well-prepared meal.
To be here and to talk and collaborate and you kind of just, brainstorm almost, especially at the dinner table, is really an important part of these partnerships that we have. It's how things get done. We've got some big projects that wouldn't have been possible without those partnerships, and it's to some of these events like this that we get that opportunity.
The Economic Club's next dinner will be held on January 19th to go over entrepreneurship and innovation across the state of Michigan. Marquette Mountain welcomed hundreds of skiers and snowboarders over the weekend, kicking off its season opener with a great amount of snow. Beginning on Friday, the ski hill opened 2 runs through Saturday and Sunday. Slopes are currently covered in anywhere from 1 to 3 feet of both natural and man-made snow, which is created by a new lineup of snow machines this year. Compared to a late start last season, mountain management say they're looking forward to a promising season of powder. But to get there, the mountain will remain closed through this week to continue with the addition of more snow along more runs. The season will officially begin with its winter hours on December 20th. We'll have a link to those times on WZMQ19.com. With concerns about tariffs driving up the cost of some holiday items this year, many Michiganders may be wondering whether their Christmas tree will cost more. But experts say real natural Christmas trees grown here in the state are not affected, and they may even be seeing strong demand. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy explains why.
As tariff conversations continue to dominate headlines, one Michigan holiday staple is largely untouched: the natural grown Christmas tree.
Real Christmas trees are, grown here in Michigan. We're the 3rd largest state in Christmas tree production in the whole country. We harvest about 2 million trees annually. Around 500 farms in Michigan and about 3,000 people work in Christmas trees. So it's a big industry.
Because those trees are grown domestically, Lindbergh says they are not subject to tariffs that can affect imported goods.
Artificial trees are primarily all produced overseas, mostly all in China. And so when they're bringing them in, they would be subject to a tariff.
That difference could influence how some families choose to decorate this season.
The tariffs could have an impact in raising the prices of artificial trees you would find at the store. So when I'm having conversations with my Christmas tree farmers across the state, they're seeing strong demand for trees this year.
Beyond price, Lindbergh says many people choose a real tree for the experience and the memories that come with it.
The biggest reason why people choose real Christmas trees is because when you bring that real tree into your house, it brings joy to everyone who sees and especially smell of that Christmas tree into your house.
And for those worried about supply, Lindbergh says this year's growing season has been largely successful, even with pockets of drought. With strong production, stable prices, and no tariff impacts, Michigan-grown Christmas trees continue to play a major role in the state's agricultural economy and in holiday traditions across the country. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
When it comes to Christmas presents, prices are on the rise this year. According to CBS News, around 80% of toys in the U.S. are manufactured in China. One toy store in North Carolina is doing everything it can to keep prices low this Christmas.
November and December are the busiest months of year at Toy Mania in Charlotte. They've been in the Cotswold Shopping Center since 2019, and its manager Sherry Stone says people have already started holiday shopping.
It's just busy. We get pallets and pallets in every day in our warehouse, and it's fun, it's exciting, and it's definitely what keeps us afloat.
Over the last year, she says the store has seen the impacts of tariffs. Although Toy Mania works to source products in the U.S., they still order from all over year-round. Stone says more customers are trying to keep supporting local businesses.
I would say 90% of them are still shopping with us because they want us in the community.
Right now, Sherry says the business and manufacturers aren't clear on how price increases from this year will impact 2026. The National Retail Federation expects holiday sales to surpass $1 trillion for the first time this year. Its chief economist and executive director of research notes that tariffs have caused increases, and many retailers have tried to hold steady during the uncertainty of trade policies. Stone says many manufacturers have tried holding their prices and have just added tariff charges.
They tried to keep the price increases down if they could. Some could not because some hadn't had price increases in a couple years. So once they were hit with the tariffs, they had to pass it on to us.
A NerdWallet survey found that nearly 2/3 of holiday shoppers are concerned about tariffs impacting gift shopping this season. Stone says they work to help parents on a budget find holiday gifts for their children.
We have always ordered with the mindset that we want anybody to be able to walk in here and us help them find a good toy for their child.
In Washington tomorrow, Secretaries Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio will meet with senators in a closed-door meeting. They'll brief senators on the strikes against alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. State Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says they've been demanding a briefing on the strikes, which have killed more than 80 people. The administration has said the strikes are to protect the homeland from drugs crossing into the U.S., but senators on both sides of the aisle have wanted to get clarity on the legal justification around it. Back in September, there were reports that after an initial strike on one boat, there was a second strike on several crew members who survived that first attack. Some members criticized that second strike, questioning if the administration killed people who no longer posed a threat. One senator on the Armed Services and Intelligence Committee says that the video should be made public.
And I think there needs to be a thorough review because the legal memo written to support these strikes should be made public. The Office of Legal Counsel did a memo saying why President Trump's allowed to do this. I read the memo. I don't agree with it. I don't think it does state the law. I think it misstates the law.
The U.S. also recently took control of an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, and Hegseth and Rubio are expected to be questioned on that action as well. Congress is running out of time to prevent major health care cost increases for millions of Americans. After two proposals failed in the Senate last week, House Republicans are now taking their shot to address the issue. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon has details on the new plan, like what's included and what was left out.
If Congress doesn't act soon, Enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits used by millions of Americans to buy health insurance will expire, potentially sending monthly premiums soaring.
This is the whole reason we had the government shutdown was health care. And the Democrats wanted to continue the Obamacare subsidies, and Republicans didn't.
Democrats say extending those subsidies is essential to keep coverage affordable.
Senate Republicans just shoved the American people off the side of a cliff. Now Republicans have all but guaranteed that tens of millions of people will see their premiums double or triple or more next year.
We're working on a package of legislation that will reduce premiums for all Americans, not just 7% of them.
After two competing partisan plans failed in the Senate Thursday, House Republican leaders unveiling a new health care package late Friday that they say targets the root causes of rising costs without extending the ACA subsidies. The proposal would allow more employers to band together to buy insurance, boost transparency from pharmacy benefit managers to lower drug prices, and fund a cost-sharing reduction program to lower premiums for certain ACA enrollees. However, House Republicans remain divided over the enhanced subsidies. Some moderates have unveiled legislation that extends the subsidies with reforms like income caps. But fiscal conservatives say time's up for the COVID-era subsidies.
We just can't get Republican votes on that for lots of reasons, not enough of them.
The White House has yet to unveil a plan of its own and is instead waiting to see what Congress can produce.
I leave it to them, and hopefully they're going to put great legislation on this desk right here. We want to give the money to the people and let the people buy their own great health care.
Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
The bill heads to committee Tuesday with a floor vote expected this week. House members have just 4 session days left before their holiday recess begins on Friday, and the Senate's recess begins Saturday. Coming up after the break, in the wake of the deaths of director Rob Reiner and his wife, President Donald Trump is weighing in. We'll show you what he had to say earlier today. And later, an organic baby formula has been linked to botulism. We'll tell you which one and how many families have been impacted. Stay with us.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Add a luxurious look to your home this holiday season. Give any room a fresh look with tile from Mohawk. We have over 350 in-stock ceramic, porcelain, mosaic, and glass tiles. Bring a handcrafted look to your space with Zalige Artistry wall tiles for 89 cents each. Complete your tiling job with mortar and grout from Tech. Power Grout is a professional quality stain-proof product that never needs sealing. Pick up a 7-pound bag for just $17.99 after rebate.
Okay, there's the signal.
Okay, Blue, hurry, he's coming. Have a good round.
See you later. All right.
What's that?
Toolbox.
Okay. Santa's way sneakier.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Let's get this all-new Kelly started. Let's do it! Daisy Ridley. Plus inside the Stranger Things finale with Noah Schnapp. 'Tis the season of Kelly. Happy holidays, everybody! Go ahead, get it out.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ CBS.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Individual and adventurous. Journey to the world's most exotic, breathtaking locations. Pure Outdoor.
Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News. Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We are 6 days away from the official start of winter, but we have already made a pretty good chunk into the snow total so far for the season. 62.2 inches of snow for Marquette. The season average is 197 inches, so we have much more time to go, not even officially into winter yet, but it really has felt like it. Lake effect snow, below average wind chills. We already had a cold weather advisory over the weekend, so definitely not a gradual go into the season, but we're not even in winter yet, but things are much more calm for this week and improvements on temperatures. But something that we have to look out for this week is going to be that ice component. So you see the pink right here is that mix, so that could be some freezing rain, it could be some sleet, and even though this looks like a little bit, this is enough to give you a glazing of ice as it moves through for tomorrow. So watch out for that for both commutes for tomorrow, and we might get some rays of sunshine before the sun sets, but then we are looking at some snow flurries to start off for your Wednesday. So improvements at least for not looking at any major systems for the start of the week, but then Wednesday night we'll have another system with a wintry mix moving on through. So for the next 48 hours, just another visual representation of the snow, at least for Marquette. It is low for Tuesday morning. This is when we might get some of that ice moving through, but then we're not looking at much for snow accumulation really until we get to Wednesday night into Thursday. So before that, just to show you what we're looking at, there might be a quarter of an inch of just a little dusting of snow. This is though from now until Wednesday morning. So we know sometimes if I advance this even just 2 hours, we could see a decent amount of snow on here. So this is until Wednesday morning, and some places could even not see any snow. So Iron Mountain, you're likely going to miss some of the snow action, but it's okay to get a break from it every once in a while, kind of reset the roads for us too. The future winds, anytime you get a wind or a breeze in the wintertime, it's going to lower those feels like temperatures, and it's going to feel much colder, especially with a northern wind, which is what we're looking at for much of Wednesday morning and afternoon, and then it shifts for Wednesday night and into Thursday. So bit of a mixed bag as we get closer to the official start of winter, and we're 10 days away from Christmas. So a lot of people are trying to make their travel plans because Thanksgiving was kind of an iffy go. But as for a white Christmas, which is 1 inch of snow on the ground for us, the National Weather Service, typically Marquette has a pretty good chance of seeing a white Christmas. As of right now, I'm going to put it at a 50-50 chance just because there could be a bit of a warm-up, but at this point the warm-up isn't quite coinciding with Christmas just yet, so things are changing as it always does in winter in the Upper Peninsula. So we'll keep you updated, and especially if we're looking at any major storm systems. But the name of the game this week is still going to be the cold temperatures, not as much for the start of it, but it's going to be that ice. We get a wintry mix, and we could see some more ice as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and much colder for your Friday.
After announcing a person of interest in a deadly shooting at Brown University in Rhode Island, authorities have released new photos and videos of their suspect. CBS's Katrina Kaufman has the latest.
Providence police on Monday released this video taken before the shooting at Brown University that left 2 students dead and 9 injured. They believe this person is the same one seen calmly walking away from the scene on Saturday.
There's no one that wants to put this individual in handcuffs than us. We're asking the public for assistance to be able to identify this individual.
There is a growing memorial at Brown University for the victims in Saturday's shooting. Sophomore Ella Cook was vice president of Brown's College Republicans from Birmingham, Alabama. Cook's church remembered her as someone who lifted up those around her.
She was an incredible
grounded, faithful, bright light.
Muhammad Aziz Umorzakov was a freshman with dreams of becoming a neurosurgeon.
Brown's grieving, I'm grieving. The loss of him would be felt throughout this community.
FBI officials are on campus. They've taped off the engineering building here where the shooting took place and are digging through dumpsters looking for any clues. Brown University went into lockdown for hours after the shooting Saturday. University officials canceled all remaining classes and exams for the semester.
In Los Angeles, the son of Rob Reiner has been booked on murder charges in the deaths of the legendary director and his wife, Michelle. CBS's Dina Demetrius is at the scene with more on the investigation.
Los Angeles police say Rob and Michelle Reiner's daughter Romy was the one who found them in their Brentwood home Sunday afternoon and called 911. Multiple sources tell CBS News the iconic director and his wife had multiple lacerations. Police took the couple's 32-year-old son, Nick, into custody.
Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case, he was subsequently booked for murder.
The Reiner family posed together on the red carpet in September for the premiere of Spinal Tap 2. Nick in the middle with the beard. He had spoken publicly about his struggles with substance abuse and homelessness. Father and son collaborated on a film about those experiences, Being Charlie, with Nick co-writing and Rob directing. Rob Reiner directed so many classics, including When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, and A Few Good Men. But he called the movie he made with his son the most personal of his career.
They started writing together.
He discussed it on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
What happened was it forced me to see really what he had been going through. And I knew a lot of it, but I didn't know all of it. And I think it forced him to see what I had experienced and what his mother had experienced.
Flowers mark Rob Reiner's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In a statement, the family said it was heartbroken by this sudden loss and asked for privacy.
Rob Reiner was the son of comedy icon Carl Reiner. As an actor, he also won 2 Emmys in the 70s, co-starring on the hit CBS series All in the Family as Archie Bunker's son-in-law. In Washington today, President Donald Trump reacted to Reiner's death on Truth Social, and he's doubling down on the comments he made there. The president said Reiner's passing was likely the result of anger he caused others through Trump derangement syndrome, before writing, "Rest in peace." When asked today if he stood by his post, Trump had this to say.
I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country.
At this time, police have not mentioned anything about the Reiner's deaths being politically motivated. Up next, we've got details on that baby formula recall following dozens of cases of botulism in infants. And later, we'll show you how the Ford River Lions Club celebrated Christmas with its community. We'll be right back.
The kids, they got Santa. My goal, gifts for adults. I'd give holiday instant games from the Michigan Lottery. They're a fun gift that's easy to give everyone on your list. No one regifts these babies. Am I changing the world? No. But I am putting wonder back into the holidays for adults. This year, gift something wonderful. Give them holiday instants from the Michigan Lottery. I won 100 last week, hence the vest.
My first experience was probably 15 years ago. We have a 98 Ford Explorer, and we bought from a previous owner who only had it like maybe 7 years, and there's not a spot of rust on it. The previous owners had it undercoated by auto owners. This vehicle, we just had the undercoating here because up here in the UP, our winters are harsh, and if you have a nice automobile, you want to keep it nice. The staff is amazing, super friendly, accommodating, they're awesome. Definitely recommend auto owner.
Upper Peninsula State Bank is built from the customer's point of view. Our brand of banking blends technology with relationships. Video teller ATMs allow you to do self-guided or live teller transactions. You can deposit, withdraw, make payments or transfers, all quickly, easily, and privately. At Upper Peninsula State Bank, you'll always have the option of face-to-face interactions. And with our video teller machines, you'll be able to do so 7 days a week. We're redefining banker's hours.
My name is Brett Watt, and I've been at Goodwill since supposedly 2011, but don't quote me on that. Before Goodwill, I don't know what exactly, yeah, it's complicated, but it's what I actually enjoy. I always say, you know, it just motivates me. It helps me concentrate on life. Impact for the positive. Trust me on that. Goodwill, in my opinion, might as well be my favorite company.
Supporting Goodwill helps give our clients fuller lives.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back. In health news, new evidence about how tanning beds can increase skin cancer risks and how to keep your child from overeating during the holidays. Bradley Blackburn reports.
This holiday season, doctors say it's a good idea to talk with your teenagers about healthy eating. A new poll from the University of Michigan finds a third of parents offer general advice, such as eat in moderation. But specific tips could be more helpful, like decide in advance what to eat, choose low-calorie foods, and get more exercise. Nearly a third of parents say their child eats out of boredom, and about 1 in 10 eat when stressed. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is the nation's largest food purchasing assistance program. Now, new research published in JAMA found if all states matched the most generous state's policy, it would keep 6.5 million Americans from food insecurity, compared to if all states matched the most restrictive policy. Food insecurity is rising in the U.S. and is linked to poor health. And people who use tanning beds have nearly triple the risk of getting melanoma compared to those who never use them. Researchers at Northwestern University found melanoma-linked DNA damage is also more widespread across the body, including areas that don't get much sunlight. Melanoma is the deadliest skin cancer, killing more than 8,000 people every year.
An infant formula recall that sickened 51 babies has now been expanded. Meg Oliver reports that many parents are feeling wary about formula safety.
The FDA now says botulism in ByHeart formula may have been a problem since the company first started selling the organic product back in 2022.
This is just a bottle of formula made with only organic grass-fed whole milk.
After a recent review, the CDC tied 12 additional cases of the toxic bacteria to the company, bringing the total to 51, including Hannah Everett's infant daughter, Piper.
How terrifying was that?
You know, it's just really terrifying. And then, of course, you feel guilty because it's something you gave them, you know. So it was just a whirlwind of emotions, and not to mention the having to do the feeding tube and IVs. I think that part was probably one of the worst out of all of it. You know,
it's so hard to see your child in pain.
Botulism is a rare but serious illness caused by a toxin that attacks the body's nerves. It causes difficulty breathing, muscle paralysis, and can be fatal. Symptoms in infants can include constipation, poor feeding, and lack of facial expression. The antitoxin treatment works best if given as soon as symptoms occur.
Say hi.
After 5 days in the hospital, Piper is now doing better, but her mom is furious they haven't heard a word from the company.
A mix of honestly just kind of heartbroken and livid. You know, anything that goes through our food supply chain should be very heavily regulated. You know, you should take the utmost precautions. You know, these are infants.
The Everetts are one of at least 4 families who have filed a lawsuit against the company. ByHeart wouldn't go on camera, but told us they are cooperating with federal and state agencies to determine the cause. Parents should stop using all ByHeart formula immediately.
Kelly has one last look at the forecast when we come back.
Winter is here. Fox Marquette Ford gets you there. Lease a 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend 4-wheel drive for $398 a month for 36 months. Fox Marquette Ford. Experience the difference.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get more than you expect. With deals in the app, all day, every day.
Get free medium fries the day after the Packers win, only in the app.
trip chaperone.
Before helping prevent migraine with Qulipta, it was hard keeping plans.
And look at me now.
You'll never truly forget migraine, but Qulipta reduces attacks, making more zero migraine days possible to help give that forget you get migraine feeling.
Don't take if allergic. Stop taking and get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing, face, lip, or tongue swelling, itching, or rash. Tell your doctor about increased blood pressure or color changes, pain, or numbness in fingers or toes.
Ask your doctor about Qulipta to help prevent migraine.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Pure Outdoor.
Winter is here. Fox Marquette Ford gets you there. Now through December, lease a 2025 F-150 for $479 a month for 36 months. Fox Marquette Ford. Experience the difference.
I'm Corporal Klinger.
That must be me, sir.
I tried everything to get out of the Army.
What's the big idea, Klinger?
I was a tree.
I would have made it if not for that dog.
I got pregnant.
Should someone in your condition be smoking a cigar?
And of course, I wore a dress or two.
Sir.
But I never got out, which means you can watch more of me on MeTV.
MASH, weekdays and Sundays at 7 on MeTV 19.1. Sophia Murphy reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News.
And a final check of your forecast. We're getting ready for your Tuesday, and there's good news. We get some sunshine and finally some above average temperatures. It's going to feel really nice, at least for tomorrow and the start of this week here. So mid to upper 30s is pretty good considering this time of the year. But anytime you get a breeze, the feels like temperatures could always be much lower. So if you're out towards the western half of the Upper Peninsula, you have a much better chance of seeing some sunshine and getting even to the 40s for some of us. But otherwise, through the Escanaba and Munising area, watch out for a brief burst of some freezing rain. We could have some icy roadways for much of tomorrow, and then another round of that likely for Wednesday night into Thursday. But I'm advancing this next 48-hour snow outlook, and we're not seeing much here. So we're not looking at any major snow systems, which is always nice as we're trying to get those last-minute Christmas and holiday preparations done. But whenever you're headed outside, the roads are still slick and you still need to bundle up, especially later in the week. Temperatures will go from warmer in the upper 30s to the teens for your Friday.
Thank you for joining us tonight on your 19 News at 11. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 6, 5 Central.
Shop hundreds of Lazy Boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
We are here around the clock in all weather. This is